Hey, Isabella. Have you heard about this Geh guy? Because, I was reading this piece and what he pulled off, it's just wild, you know?
Marcus, I think I saw something pop up on my feed actually. Geg, right? Isn't he like a TikToker or something? What exactly did he do that's got you so animated?
Animated is putting it mildly, my friend. He managed to get 25,000, that's 25000 young Nigerians to sign up for an online class. And the topics, Isabella, are like, don't spend money on women or why you need to be stingy to women. I mean, seriously, 25,000 people for that?
Wait, seriously? 25,000? That's like a whole university auditorium, virtual or not. And the topics? Wow, that sounds pretty divisive. Did he do a massive marketing campaign or something?
That's the craziest part, Isa. The article says he didn't even do much publicity or awareness. Just poof, 25,000 active students, just like that. It just blows my mind, you know?
It really does. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I'm super intrigued. How? How did he pull that off with such controversial topics and without a huge PR push? There's gotta be something more to it, right? What kept them hooked? What's the secret sauce here?
Well, that's what the article gets into, and it's kind of fascinating. First off, it points to this idea that the sheer number of participants, well, it's a bit of a testament to, shall we say, a certain unseriousness among some Nigerian youths. The piece even references the late Buhari calling Nigerian youths lazy. Pretty stark, right?
That's a pretty heavy statement, Marcus. But just focusing on Geh Geh, I mean, if his content is that controversial and he's drawing those numbers, what is he doing? Is it his personality, his delivery?
Absolutely. The article explains he's a content creator, and his whole thing revolves around advising men to basically avoid women who, might wreck their finances. And while some of his arguments might have a point, it's his packaging. He makes these really overzealous, kind of unrealistic submissions that just spark conversation and argument. And that, Issa, generates traction, likes, comments, shares, which equals social media revenue for him. Smart in a weird way.
So it's not necessarily the deep wisdom, but the drama and the engagement it creates. People are there for the show, the spectacle, and I guess his style too. I heard he has a very distinct persona.
Totally. They describe his half-naked style, his village boy vibe, abnormal mannerism, and other unique features. He stands out. He gives people a reason to stop scrolling and listen, even if it's folly knowledge, as the writer put it. Uniqueness, it's a priceless value on social media, you know?
That's a really interesting point about uniqueness. So it's almost like social media is this wild, wild west where any idea, no matter how niche or unorthodox, can find an audience if presented uniquely enough. Do you know what I mean?
You've hit the nail right on the head, Isabella. That's one of the biggest takeaways from this whole Geh Geh situation. His 25,000 person class just solidifies the fact that social media is an open marketplace. Seriously. Any idea could be sold there. The key, it seems, is just being consistent and adopting the most effective strategy for your niche. Geh Geh, he's like a master of that, even with what some might call mediocre content.
Wow. So it really emphasizes the power of persistence and knowing your audience. It doesn't matter if your message is super profound or just, stirring the pot. As long as you're consistent and engaging, that's actually a pretty powerful lesson for anyone trying to build something online, isn't it?
Absolutely. It kind of throws out the old rule book, right? You don't necessarily need a huge budget or traditional advertising. What you need is a unique voice, consistency, and a strategy to grab attention. He's proven that, for better or worse, by building a massive following around, well, pretty simple and controversial concepts. It's really something to think about.
Yeah, it's like a masterclass in unconventional marketing. Even if we don't necessarily agree with the message, the mechanism is like super effective. It makes you wonder what else could thrive in that kind of open market, right? Like the potential is just massive.
So we've talked about his strategy, but let's dive into the actual advice he gives. The article mentions his absurd appeal to guys about not marrying women who don't have a skill or education that earns them money. And get this, the writer calls it an important life hack that could change ladies' mentalities and awaken consciousness among young Nigerian men.
Whoa, Marcus. An important life hack? That sounds incredibly problematic, to be honest. While financial independence is great, framing it as a reason not to marry someone, especially with those negative connotations, seems to reinforce some pretty outdated and even harmful stereotypes. How can that be seen as a positive influence?
I know, right? It's definitely a contentious point. But the article's perspective is that regardless of how absurd it seems, it's making young men think about these things. It's prompting a discussion, even if it's coming from a place that many would disagree with. It's causing a stir, and for some, that stir is a form of awakening. It's really interesting how the author presents it.
I mean, I get that it's generating conversation, but is any conversation good conversation? Like, surely there's a line where, the message itself could be damaging, even if it's making people talk. I just think about the impact on young women hearing that kind of rhetoric. It must be pretty disheartening, no?
That's a totally valid concern, Isabella. And the article doesn't shy away from calling his content fallacious and demeaning. But it's almost like it's saying, look, this guy with his problematic advice, he's reaching thousands. And whether we like it or not, it's having some kind of impact on the discourse. It's a very nuanced and a bit uncomfortable observation, I think.
Yeah, uncomfortable is the word. It makes you think about the responsibility of creators, doesn't it? Like, when you have that kind of reach, even with seemingly rubbish content, the influence is still real. So, Marcus, here's what really gets me. This guy, Geh Geh, he's like teaching what the article calls rubbish, right? And he's making money, getting thousands of followers. But then the article also mentions how learned, intelligent, and resourceful individuals are still low-spirited and indifferent about sharing their actual knowledge on social media. That's like a huge missed opportunity, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Isabella. It's one of the biggest points the author makes. Imagine the guts Geh Geh has, right? To organize a class just to teach people what some would call nonsense, and people actually joined. Meanwhile, you have these truly intelligent, resourceful people full of valuable knowledge, and they're not leveraging the majesty of social media. It's a stark contrast.
It's honestly kind of frustrating. Like, why aren't the people with genuinely helpful, life-changing information stepping up? Is it like a fear of the platform? Or maybe they just don't see the value in it compared to traditional avenues?
I think it's a mix, Isa. There might be a perception that social media isn't serious enough for academic or deeply insightful content. Or perhaps they just haven't figured out how to package their knowledge in a way that, cuts through the noise like Geh Geh does. He's found his unique selling proposition, even if it's polarizing. The article is almost a wake-up call, saying social media is an open market. Go hard or go home.
That's a powerful call to action, actually. It's like, if Geh Geh can do it with controversial stuff, imagine what genuinely good educators or coaches could do if they just, embrace the platform, found their unique voice, and just got consistent. There's such a massive audience out there waiting for real value.
Exactly. It's not just about entertainment, it's about influence and impact. And if the good content creators don't step up, well, then the stage is left open for everyone else. It's definitely food for thought for all of us. So, wrapping this up, Isabella, this whole Geh Geh phenomenon, it really paints a picture of where online influence is headed, doesn't it? It's less about traditional credentials and more about captivating an audience.
It totally does, Marcus. It's like, the barriers to entry are gone. Anyone can be a teacher, a guru, an influencer, which is amazing in some ways, but it also means we, as consumers, have to be super discerning, like really, really question where our information is coming from.
Precisely. The author highlights that social media is this wild, vibrant marketplace. And while Geh Geh's approach might be unconventional, even controversial, his success underscores the need for consistency, uniqueness, and a clear strategy to engage. It's a testament to the power of content culture, even if it's branded mediocrity, right?
Branded mediocrity, I like that. But also, it's a huge lesson for those of us who do want to share valuable information. It's about finding that authentic voice, understanding your audience, and not being afraid to just, put yourself out there. If you have something genuine to offer, the platform is truly limitless.
Totally. It's a call to action for the learned and resourceful to not be so indifferent, to step up and fill that space with quality content compellingly delivered. Because if they don't, others with maybe less beneficial messages will. It's a challenge, but also a huge opportunity, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, Marcus, a huge opportunity. And I think that's a really hopeful note to end on, actually, that the power is there for everyone to use. We just have to, be smart and intentional about it. This was really thought-provoking. Thank you.